the Posthumous Investigation. The Posthumous Investigation is a black and white noir-style point-and-click developed by Mother Gaia Studios, following a detective, you, through a murder case between the bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. For those of you who are unsure what this perplexing word posthumous signifies, it refers to something that occurs post-death, often relating to recognition, publications, or the bearing of a child after one's passing. Neither of these are the situation in this witty adventure, although you could assert that our detective, again you, was awarded this case by none other than our victim, Brass Cubas, after demise. This was all very intriguing. How did a man that was already dead come to inquire your services? This is just but one mystery that you will uncover in this complex story. As this is a detective game, the noir style fits in seamlessly in this 2D side-scroller. From the black and white, to the quirky animations, to the side-eye cutscene. Characterization, dialogue, and Art Deco aesthetic, it brings us back to the roots of old-school animation that would be typically seen during this era, such as Betty Boop, Mickey Mouse, etc. The characters themselves are diverse and intricate, bearing multitudes of layers, motives, and emotions. Each have hidden agendas that slowly come to light as you progress through their narrative, exploring their various backstories that led them to this pinnacle point. A web of lies and deceit entangle these NPCs, and it is your job to fathom what is relevant and what is just drama. Spoilers! Close your ears or skip to the next chapter if you do not wish to hear. So, speaking of what is relevant, I did find the ending to be somewhat lazy. However, this is just personal preference. Reason being is that it is your choice to determine who has the most motive, and ultimately, the murderer. As opposed to having an elaborate story that comes to a climactic finish, leaving you dumbfounded. That is not to say that this game does not have some interesting plot twists along the way, and overall is a compelling, captivating tale, but I felt a little nonchalant at appointing my own culprit. That being said, this could have been a purposeful decision, as some may love this. Like with many movies that end ambiguously, such as Inception, this could be seen as a tasteful technique. It is just preference at the end of the day. You either love it or hate it, or maybe you are indifferent. The investigation itself consists of you interrogating supposed suspects in an assortment of locations, from cafes to streets and even their own homes, discovering new clues and picking up useful items along the way. Despite being somewhat a decision-based game, it is very forgiving. This is due to the fact that you relive the same day over and over again. Each day you have a short period of time to plan your schedule, get the clues that you need to unravel the mystery further, and then at 12 a.m. confer your findings with the late Brass Cubas in limbo. And then it starts all over again. A new day, but with new info at your disposal. I did find this somewhat back and forth at times, as you would be consistently obtaining new insight that would revert you to an NPC that you have already chatted to. However, this did add to the complexity of this case, and bunnies, there is a fast-forward mechanic which was super helpful at times. Generally, from what I have gathered, there is only one way to achieve something, but I did notice that there were a range of routes to get there. For instance, you can only get into a particular place utilizing Object A, and nothing else. But you do not strictly have to get into that house between meeting X and doing Y. In other words, it is not completely linear. Lastly, for your benefit, they added a hint option during Limbo, which was just chef's kiss. If you are ever getting stuck, clicking that at the end of the day will be a game changer, no pun intended. Overall, this is possibly one of the best point-and-click games I have ever come across. Alongside Gibeus, a Cthulhu adventure, of course. I may have been scrupulous during my rant here, as I want you to have the full scoop into this puzzling, scheming campaign, but do not misinterpret this as a bad 1-star rating. This is a great game. 5 stars. 10 out of 10 do recommend. Soxy Rabbit, bouncing off.